This negate board is going to make a Abyss Dweller, so our opponent won't be able to activate monster effects in the graveyard, a 3 negate Apollousa, a Disruption with Raging, and we'll be able to Shadoll fusion both our Beast and Alistair into a El Shadoll window to be able to draw a card and prevent them from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! What's going on with you guys? The TheCaliEffect, king of games here. And today, we're going to be going over a Shadoll deck profile for the February 2020 format. So with that being said, this build is built with the most competitive aspect in mind. If you guys are on a budget, then this may be a little bit too expensive, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we have options. I do have a $30 build of this deck using 3 structure decks, playing it the most competitive way as possible, so go ahead and check that video out. And some players have been requesting that I make this video in under $100. That is very possible. All you guys have to do is like this video up, share with a friend, and comment down below in the description that you want to see it, as well as your favorite Shadoll monster. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get into the deck profile. I run 3 copies of Rest Shadoll Windy. This is actually like a change for any Shadoll build that I've probably ever seen. A lot of builds run 2, and I don't think that they're incorrect, but what I do think is having 3 copies of Rest Shadoll Windy allows you to get into your combo. It's kind of awkward that the format we're in, a lot of decks want to go second because they have all of these board breaking cards to be able to destroy you or hand traps. In this particular build, we're going to go against the wave and go first because we want to make a board that our opponent just won't be able to win. And if we're playing the Shadoll mirror match, we probably already won already. Next is 3 copies of Shadoll Squamata. These 2 cards are probably some of the most important main deck Shadoll monsters in the entire deck, just simply because in opening both of these monsters or any combination of Shadoll Squamata and a light monster or this plus a Shadoll Squamata is amazing. It's full combo, and whatever other cards are just extenders to help you make a better board. Next is 2 copies of Shadoll Hedgehog for free searches. And then for our one-of Shadolls, we run 1 copy of No Shadoll Ariel. This card is like, it's good because of its flip effect, and it's bad because it's like, its other effect is decent, but it doesn't necessarily get you further. I've been fighting between running 1 copy and running 2 copies of this card, and the reason why you run 2 copies is because if you do see this in your opening hand, your combo is almost dead. Next is 1 copy of Shadoll Beast. A lot of decks tend to run multiple copies of Shadoll Beast, and I think that's actually Shadolls in the past. The present Shadolls has so much search and special summon power. While the draw is very nice, you don't necessarily need it. 1 copy of Shadoll Falco and 1 copy of Shadoll Dragon to wrap up the Shadolls. These are just amazing Shadolls, enough said. Next is 3 copies of Alistair the Invoker, and players would wonder, Cali, why didn't you just say it was Invoke Shadoll? Because this necessarily isn't an Invoke Shadoll deck. Invoke Shadoll focuses on summoning monsters like Makaba to your side of the field and just using the invoked engine to the fullest extent. Now, we just use Alistair the Invoker because it searches polymerization. And yes, there are some amazing combos with this card that does involve summoning invoked monsters, but that doesn't really make it an invoked deck. Plus, I think Makaba is not a great card, but we'll talk about that a little later. Next, to supplement our normal summons, is 3 copies of Fairy Tale Luna. I'm not actually worried about running 6 normal summons inside of a deck, because if we do open Luna and Alistair, the Alistair will search the polymerization if needed, and the Luna will become just a light target to be able to make construct, or vice versa. If we already have the invocation, then the Luna becomes a free summon to our side of the field to search another light monster, and the invocation becomes that fusion card that we need. Next is 3 copies of Perform Age Damage Juggler. This card is bananas, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you picked yours up in ultra rare. They've already gotten to $1.50 each, but this card is amazing because it's a light monster and it gets you free rank 4 engines, which is your 2 copies of Hat Tricker and your 1 copy of Trick Clown. And the reason why these are just so good is because, first of all, when you fuse with your Perform Age Damage Juggler, you get the effect, or you get the ability to search any of these guys. These 2 act as amazing extenders, but again, they can always make that Abyss Dweller, which completely ruins a lot of the meta decks day, including this deck in the mirror match. That is it for the monsters, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the spells, we run 3 copies of Shadoll Fusion, 3 copies of El Shadoll Fusion, 3 copies of Magical Meltdown, 2 Meltdown in the Terraforming, and 2 copies of Invocation. It looks like I run only 8 fusion spell cards, but in actuality, I run 14. These 11 cards get me into a fusion card some way, plus the 3 Alistair the Invoker. This deck is well equipped to open at least 1 fusion card, which is something that Shadoll has always struggled with almost every given play. Now, for the budget build, I actually have a completely different route because invocations and the invoked engine is starting to get really expensive. So again, if you guys want to see that, then go ahead and like that video up. Like this video up. You don't like the video that isn't out yet. Moving on. We run 1 copy of Emergency Teleport. This is a 4th Rush Shadoll Windy because obviously it just makes the deck more consistent. Foolish Burial and Pot of Avarice. What I did notice about this deck is that it runs through monsters quite fast. On your first turn, you can easily put 5 monsters into the graveyard that you would like to have back into your deck. So Pot of Avarice is really good. And then we finish it up with 2 copies of Rush Shadoll Incarnation. The first one is for the combo. The second one is if you make Al Capone. I know that's not its name. I just like calling it Al Capone, the American gangster. And then when you send it to the graveyard, you can add Rush Shadoll and then discard it to the graveyard, and now you have more plays. But that is it for the main deck at 40 cards. Just a quick note, I actually wanted to run 42 and run another Nell Shadoll Ariel as well as another Shadoll Beast, but decided against it. I wanted to keep it a clean cut 40. Moving on to the extra deck, 3 copies of Shadoll Construct, or El Shadoll Construct. The reason why this deck is just so busted is because this card is not once per turn to send Shadoll cards from your deck to the graveyard, and on top of that, it is a light monster, meaning that you can abuse some of the most powerful effects in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. 2 copies of El Shadoll Winda. A part of me wants to drop this to 1 because I think after you summon the first one, you don't need a next one. If they break it, then you know you're not in a position to make a second one, and if they don't break it, then you don't need a second one anyways, but I'm gonna leave that for more testing. And then 1 copy of El Shadoll Apcalone or Al Capone. This card is amazing because it is a Shadoll Searcher. 1 copy of Invoked Raging, 1 copy of Mechama, and 1 copy of Invoked Kaliga. We literally only run the Kaliga. Well, Kaliga Shadoll Winda is a decent lock, it's pretty cute, but Kaliga is also a level 4 monster. The Invoked Raging is probably the best invoked monster available, and Invoked Makaba is because it's light. That's really it. If it wasn't light, I wouldn't be playing it, but that's pretty much it. For the Exceeds, we just run Abyss Dweller. This card wins so many matchups. And then for the links, we run Apollosa, Alistair, Cross Sheep, Shadoll Construct, and we finish it off with a Gravity Controller. That is it for the main board and the extra deck, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you guys some test hands because I know that's what you really came here for. Okay guys, so we will be using the Shadoll Showdown Structure mat because obviously that's best mat until we get an actual rubber or even better cloth mat version of this. And I'm going to be showing you some awesome test hands. Now within these test hands, I'm going to be showing you guys iterations of a combo that will hopefully be applicable to your game. So opening up, we're going to get the Performage Damage Juggler, Invocation, a Rush Shadoll Windy, an Emergency Teleport, and another Rush Shadoll Windy. This is a completely terrible hand, and it's the price we have to play for running multiple copies of, or more than 2 copies of Rush Shadoll Windy and an Emergency Teleport, but it's still really workable. What we're going to do is start off by activating the Invocation. We're going to fuse our Performage Damage Juggler and a Shadoll monster because that's pretty awesome. They don't always have to be dark to be able to make a Shadoll Construct. Using the effect of our Shadoll Windy and our Construct, we are going to special summon to our side of the field. Where is that? Nell Shadoll to our side of the field. And then we're also going to be able to send from our decks to the graveyard Rush Shadoll Incarnation. From there, we can use the effect of Performage Damage Juggler. We're going to banish this Damage Juggler to be able to add from our decks to our hands a Performage Trick Clown. And this is the crazy thing. We're just going to go ahead and normal summon the Performage Trick Clown because we did not invest our normal summon in this particular sequence. Using both the Construct and the Rush Shadoll, or I'm sorry, the Performage Trick Clown, we're going to go ahead and make Cross Sheep. Let me move that over because that's where it looks better at. And then we're going to trigger the effect of our Trick Clown to be able to special summon itself back to the side of the field. From there, we'll be able to use the other effect of our Rush Shadoll Incarnation. We're going to banish that and our Construct. Let me put my banished in the middle, right? Is that fine with you guys? I'm gonna banish those to flip summon my Shadoll Ariel, using her effect to special summon Construct to my side of the field, and then Cross Sheep's effect to special summon Windy to my side of the field. Now Construct's effect will trigger. I'll actually use this Construct's effect to send to the graveyard an Shadoll Fusion. And I know what you guys are thinking, TheCaliEffect, what exactly are you doing? I'm doing some madness, as I could end this board on just an Abyss Dweller. I'm feeling really gutsy right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and use both of these monsters for a link into our Shadoll Construct. And then I'm gonna use the effect of our Shadoll Construct. No, actually I'm gonna keep you. I'm gonna use the effect of our Shadoll. Actually, no. Does it matter? Yes, it does matter. I'm gonna use these two to make another copy of Shadoll Construct, triggering a few effects. We are gonna trigger our Shadoll Construct and our Shadoll Construct. I'll add Shadoll Fusion to my side from my deck to my hand, and then I will send a Shadoll Hedgehog, which will get a Shadoll Squamata from my deck to my hand. From there, I can finish off. I could have made the Abyss Dweller, but I decided to go a different route. If I had another extender, that would have been fine. We can do this. I'm gonna discard my Shadoll Fusion to special summon my Shadoll Construct. And then I'm going to link all 4 of these. Again, it all depends on what you were going to make. I'm gonna make a 4 negate Appaloosa. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm gonna trigger the effect of my Shadoll Fusion. I'm also going to, I could use the effect of Shadoll Construct. That is crazy. And that would discard the Squamata to send a Shadoll Beast, but I really don't see a need for that, because watch this, ladies and gentlemen. I can set a Shadoll Fusion and an emergency teleport. On my opponent's turn, I can use the effect of Shadoll Fusion to fuse both my Squamata and my Rest Shadoll Windy to make a Shadoll Winda, and I'll also trigger the effect of my Windy and Squamata. So Squamata will send another Hedgehog, and Windy will special summon Beast to my side of the field. Hedgehog will add my Squamata to my hand. And we have a pretty serviceable board, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Appaloosa with 4 negations and Shadoll Winda. We also just so happen to have a Shadoll Beast, which gains the effect to draw 2 cards and then discard 1 from our hand. And then in our following turn, we have play. So this deck is still amazing. Okay guys, so for test hand number 2, let me move this out of the way because that is annoying. For test hand number 2, we showed you what this deck can do on a terrible hand, like not too great hand. Let's hopefully we can get a good hand to show you guys exactly what this deck can do. We're gonna open up with Rest Shadoll Windy, Hat Tricker, Performance Damage Juggler, and an Shadoll Fusion. So the statistics of opening 2 of the same card in your opening sequence is extremely low, and we did it twice in a row. So this may not be our best day, but we still actually have combos. So we're gonna use the effect of our Shadoll Fusion. We're gonna fuse these 2 right into our Shadoll Construct. It's actually better that this time around we have the Shadoll Fusion as opposed to the Invocation, because now we can fetch it back with the effect of Shadoll Construct. So Rest Shadoll Windy and Construct's effects. I'm gonna send Incarnation, and of course we're still gonna special summon Nail because we still have combo. So now I'm gonna go ahead and special summon Hat Tricker to my side of the field. We don't even have to use Juggler just yet. And use both of these monsters for a link summon into Cross Sheep. That will trigger the effect of Construct to add the Shadoll Fusion. Now I will banish Rest Shadoll Incarnation and the Shadoll Construct to flip up Nail to special summon the Construct, triggering the effect. That will bring back a monster to my side of the field. Let's go ahead and bring out Rest Shadoll again. I don't think it points to Cross Sheep. Trigger the effect of Shadoll Construct. Since we already have Shadoll Fusion, I'm gonna go ahead and send Squamata to add Hedgehog. All right, so we still can make that 4 negate Apollosa. 4 negations, ladies and gentlemen, which is too strong, but I'm gonna make the 3 negate Apollosa with an Abyss Dweller using the effect of Perform Mage Damage Juggler. We are going to add a second Hat Tricker from our decks to our hand. Actually, did we normal summon? I don't think we normal summon, which is, sometimes you just don't need it. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and normal summon the Hat Tricker. And then I will use both of these monsters for a link. We can make that 4 negation Apollosa if we really need it. I'll detach preemptively to special summon. Then we'll link again to Apollosa. And then the Shadoll fusion set on our opponent's turn being activated. We'll fuse these two. You never thought, guys, you never thought how powerful this deck can be. I'll use the effect of Resh and the effect of Hedgehog. We'll add 2 more Shadolls from our decks to our hand. We'll special summon 1 and add 1. So I'll special summon the Beast and I will add the Squam. So again, with another subpar hand, we get a 4 negation Apollosa, a El Shadoll Winda, an Abyss Dweller with a Shadoll Beast, potentials to draw 2 more cards and discard 1 from our hand, as well as quite a bit of recursion. Shadoll is just too strong. Okay guys, so for the last test hand, I really hope we get a decent hand, as I'll be able to finally show you what this deck can do at its potential. We're gonna get a Shadoll Beast, an Alistair the Invoker, a Shadoll Fusion, a Damage Juggler, and a Hedgehog. We can do this. I just have to figure it out. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and activate Shadoll Fusion. Yeah, we're gonna fuse these 2 monsters into our Shadoll construct. Yeah, I think we can do this. I think we can do this. I'm gonna use the effect of Shadoll Construct. We're gonna send to the graveyard Resh Shadoll Windy to special summon Noel Shadoll. We can do this. And our Shadoll Hedgehog, we'll add our Shadoll Squamata. We can definitely do this because if I summon the Alistair, okay, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this together, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna next summon the Alistair the Invoker. Yeah. Alistair the Invoker will add Invocation, and I'll use both the Construct and the Alistair for a link. Normally I'd make Cross Sheep, but I need Alistair the Invoker of Madness. We'll trigger the effect of Construct to add our Shadoll Fusion, and we need to fuse. Okay, so next we'll activate Invocation. I'll banish Windy and Alistair the Invoker. I hope this is not once per turn. I think the Shuffle effect is once per turn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Shuffle effect is once per turn, not the Fusion. This is the terrible thing about having Intaliant Invocations. I've always hated foreign cards. So we'll Fusion into the invoked Raging. I'll trigger the effect of Alistair Invoker of Madness. And this effect does trigger the effect of your Shadolls. So I'll send that to the graveyard to add an Invocation and Squamata. I've already sent Windy, so yeah, we'll send the rest Shadoll Fusion. We actually can do this. We can actually do this. Now, before I summon the Construct, I do need to put an additional monster on my side of the field. Fortunately, we have the Perform Mage Damage Juggler to special summon the Hat Tricker. I'm glad we play Hat Tricker. And these 2 monsters into Cross Sheep, which means that should have been right here, but it doesn't matter, I don't think. Next, we'll go ahead and go with the Construct. Banish and banish, flip to summon, effect and effect. You will bring back Shadoll Squamata. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but I prefer the level 4 Shadoll just in case. And you would send Shadoll Fusion. Okay. Wow, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. I can make the Abyss Dweller. I can make Apollosa. I can fuse again. No, I can't make Abyss Dweller because I need both of those to my side. The Caliga. The Caliga will definitely help us right here. So we want to use 1, 2, 3. We'll use these 4 monsters. into our Apollousa, our 3 monsters. That's a 3 negate Apollousa. Next, Shadoll construct. That'll add. I'll follow up with the invocation. We'll banish these 2 guys. We'll special summon Kaliga. Kaliga Squamata for Dweller. This is getting crazy, guys. This is crazy, guys. Whoa, I'm gonna activate the invocation. This is getting crazy. So I'm gonna put that back into the deck. And so I have, wow. So look, this, I don't know how I did it, but this negate board is going to make a Abyss Dweller, so our opponent won't be able to activate monster effects in the graveyard, a 3 negate Apollousa, a Disruption with Raging, and we'll be able to Shadoll fusion both our Beast and Alistair into a El Shadoll window to be able to draw a card and prevent them from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! One thing I want to point out is that this Shadoll deck isn't 100% me. No deck profile should ever be 100% one person. It's always amazing to grab ideas from other people. This invoked combo was literally by accident, but it was inspired by somebody named Kami Cards. Dude only has 153 subscribers, so you guys should definitely check him out. His combo is a lot different than mine, but he pretty much gets the exact same results. I think I can't even perform his combo because I think he plays 3 invocation, and I was like, that's trash. I'm only gonna play 2 invocation. But now that I think about it, I might just drop out the emergency teleport for it. But again, thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. And if you really did, consider joining our Patreon. We have so many awesome rewards. I also want to give a shout out from the other people. There were some Pojoers that actually broke down the ratios of fusions. And of course, everyone else that has posted Shadoll decks, we have looked you up. We had a whole collection of guys looking up Shadoll deck profiles, trying to see what we can do to make add our own little wrinkle. I hope you guys are having a great day, like I am.